Hello, my friends. I'm Glacia Rain, intuitive life coach, Ascension guide, and I recently became a health coach as well. So this video, I really have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to make a couple different videos, and this is just going to be the first one. But this is for the month of December and kind of really just getting into winter energies anyways. I want to start out by reminding everyone that I'm not on Instagram or WhatsApp. So if anybody is reaching out to you through those, it's not me, okay? So we know that in the past couple videos I've talked about this, but I want to go into it a little bit more and remind everyone that we've been in this kind of this heavy cycle since the end of September. And so for many, it can feel like you're just kind of spinning in circles. So we're in this kind of holding pattern that is almost, it's like some people are having completions within it and then almost like treading water in a way, while other people start to have completions in it as well. So we're going through this collective cycle completion. So that's something that's going from like toward the end of September to mid-March, right? So I want to talk about the symptoms in this video because I know everyone really likes to hear about those. So we're going to go into those, and those have been pretty intense for a lot of you, and a lot of you will probably relate to these. So we have the ongoing Ascension flu symptoms. This just happens to different people at different times, right? And it's just according to the awakening and then how your spiritual awakening impacts your physical body and starts to make your physical body feel sick, right? Because it's like you're going through a purge of all these different levels of your being. So you're purging your belief system, you're purging your emotions, toxic trapped emotions, you're purging your physical body, you're purging your mental body, really figuring out what works for you, or even, how you perceive the world, if the way you're perceiving it works for you, or if you'd like to change that, And so the Ascension flu is just something that comes and goes, and at different times to different people. So we've been having a lot of dizziness, and this is something that it can feel like swirling in your head, or when you close your eyes, almost like you're spinning around and around. And it can be when your eyes are open, certainly, where you just can't quite see straight. Your vision may feel off, or you feel like there may be something wrong with your eyes, or possibly with your brain, and it's just a noticed difference in your ability to see. And that's another one of the symptoms that a lot of people are having right now, is that strong dizziness or almost vertigo feeling, and then tingling in the third eye area and up into like the frontal lobe of the brain. So up in your forehead, all kinds of tingling. And that will come and go as well. So it's not like it happens once and that's it. It'll like tingle. And then what you're doing is a lot of us are starting to connect in with our multi-dimensional template. And there's this sort of like light weaving that's going on, right? Almost like you've got this beautiful multi-layered template that is being woven back together through these strands of light, so I guess that's the best way to describe it right now. So you can also have these tingles and chills throughout your body, right? And so that's been an ongoing symptom as well. Fatigue and exhaustion to the point of napping. I have been having a lot of that myself, and I know a lot of other people are having that too. Feeling off, sense of impending doom. So sometimes you can feel off because the energies are new, right? It's not something that's familiar. And so you can kind of feel off. Other times you can feel off because you know that there's something that's not quite on, you know what I mean? And you're picking up on something where there's a distortion in the energies, whether it be something that people around you are creating or you're picking up in another person or whatever it may be, right? But the impending doom can also be from just the unknown, like simple fear of the unknown. Because let's be real, we like our comfort zone. We like when we know what to expect. When there's so many variables and some of them seem really scary, like we don't, change when things are already scary can feel like doom, like it could change for the worse, right? It can also feel like we're on the edge of something really big because we are. Completing this cycle right now is huge, and we're completing it in, like I said, the spring or in March, So being fuzzy, like having a fuzzy brain or a clouded mind or being really confused along with the dizziness is another one of the symptoms. So many of you are struggling just to get simple things done or almost like forgetting how to do things that you've done so many times, or kind of just feeling overwhelmed with tasks that you already know how to do that you've done before, but for some reason it just seems like too much, right? And that's because you've got this inner remodeling of your entire being. You're being upgraded left and right with these light codes. So go easy on yourself. We're in such an interesting time and space with all of the energetics at play. Like with the artificial energetics, with the celestial energetics, with the collective energetics, like there's just so much at play right now. And we're all starting to tune in more, those of us who are stepping into unity consciousness are starting to feel each other more and more and more. And so when you're starting to feel everybody around you and starting to have your psychic abilities come online, it can be really confusing and overwhelming, to be around others. And so a lot of people are dealing with that too. With this feeling of, you'll have these moments where you just feel overwhelmed, like you almost don't know what to do, like almost like you're having like a brain fart where you're just like, you go blank. It's actually really okay to go through moments like that. People are asking, what am I supposed to be doing? Because one of the symptoms that's really big for a lot of people right now is feeling lost. Now, with all the change going on, it'd be amazing if you didn't feel a little lost in all of this. But really, the people who are going through big upgrades right now are feeling completely lost. And part of it has to do with the cycle of completion that we're in right now. It's so this cycle of completion, how I talk about timeline convergence, and we have all these different timelines coming into one timeline, kind of wrapping up all these loose ends as we go through this major completion. And that's really what this is part of. And so it's actually a pretty big event, but it's not like a 1 day thing or a 2 day thing or something like that. It's a really, quite a big period of time. But if you feel like you don't know what to do, that's a really good time to just start asking questions. So you ask, what would bring me the greatest joy? What do I want to spend my time doing? Just focus on things that create expansion and possibilities, and be open to new things showing up, So feeling lost, a lot of us feel lost because we've had, so much shifting around us between friendships and family members and jobs and living situations. Like I said earlier, we like our comfort zone. And so we're being pushed into a new energy or new territory in order to create expansion. And then within this, we create the direction that we go in through our questions, right? So when you're asking those questions, like what would bring me the greatest joy? Or if you're, looking for a place to live, you would ask questions like, where is a home that could bring the greatest cohesion to me and my family, or if you live alone, that can help me progress forward in my life in the greatest and beautiful way, the most beautiful way possible, or something like that, where you're just kind of, if you're unsure, start creating possibilities, opening up these possibilities within your timelines, right? Because so part of stepping into sovereignty is imprinting your timelines and taking accountability for the way that you're showing up in the world and how your life is turning out, and making choices for yourself, right? And not running a script. And to do that, you kind of have to pay attention, and you have to imprint, because it's not like if there's a script, you automatically have something to follow. And if you're stepping into sovereignty and you throw the script to the side and you really start creating, or, aligning with whatever you want to align with in this reality, it takes focus and intention. You can create these opportunities along your timelines with your focus and intention and these questions that you ask. So be sure to do that, and you want to make sure that the questions that you're asking aren't like, how could this get any worse? Because you don't want to see the answer to that. So be careful when you ask questions, to the universe or to your higher self. Like, make it something that you'd really like to see the answer to. Okay, so one last thing that I want to cover before we wrap this up is a lot of people ask, why can't we speed up the ascension process? And they just want to get it done all at once. And we're actually going really, really fast through our ascension process right now. And the reason that we can't go any faster is that it's really determined by people's flexibility within their mental body and their ability to shift their foundations, because we've been given a lot of false ideas about what we are, where we came from, and, who our lords are, this or that, right? And so we can, if you awaken too fast, it can cause this sort of like psychosis, right? Kundalini activations, or, if somebody's not ready to have their Kundalini activated and they do it anyways and kind of force it, they can have a mental breakdown, right? And so when people become really unstable in their mental bodies and their emotional bodies, that is not a fun process to go through. And it's almost counterproductive, because then they contract and go into fear, kind of lose their shit a bit. So that's why we have to go at exactly the pace that we go at. It's really almost like running. You go as fast as you can, and not everybody can run as fast as each other. And so we kind of are going through this as a collective, even though we have individual experiences within it. We're going through this really big collective jump in consciousness. And so we're kind of supporting each other through that as well. And so I will be back really soon with another video for you. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to connecting again soon. Bye-bye.